Hello students, welcome to SR Concepts. I am Ravi Verma and in this video we will discuss a very important topic from chapter number 11, that is force and pressure. Let's proceed. So the topic is pressure. In the previous video we have discussed about what is a force. We know that force may bring about many changes in objects' state of motion or in the shape of the objects. But many times we feel that we are applying force, but the force has no impact. For example, there is a very big tree and you are applying force with the help of your hands. You are applying muscular force, but the tree doesn't break. The tree trunk doesn't break. In the same way, we try to break many things. We are applying force on them, but they do not even change their shape. Right? We have a very heavy iron almirah, suppose, and we are trying to push it. We are applying force, but it is not moving. So this happens. What decides the impact of the force? What is that particular factor which decides what a force can do and what not? So when the force will be effective and when not is determined by actually the pressure. So dear students, pressure is that particular thing, that factor which decides the impact of the force. Now let's understand what is pressure. So dear students, look at the picture. When we try to push an iron nail into the wooden plank or into any wooden object, we always pierce the iron nail from pointed end of it. Then when we try to push it by the help of a hammer, it is easily inserted into the wood. But what if we try to insert the iron nail from its blunt side? If we try to push the blunt side of an iron nail into the wall or into the wooden object, definitely the iron nail will not insert into it very easily, or not at all, we can also say. Right? So why this happens? That when you are applying force, when you are putting it through pointed end, it easily inserts, but when you are putting it through blunt end, it does not insert into the wall or into the wooden object. In the same way, when we are cutting a vegetable by the help of blunt side of a knife or by the help of a blunt knife, it doesn't cut easily. But to cut a vegetable, to cut an apple with the sharp knife or sharp side of the knife, it is easily cut. Why does it happen? In both the cases you have seen that the impact of the force depends upon the area. Impact of the force depends upon the area over which you are applying force. In this case also, when we are applying force by the help of a sharp knife, the force is being applied on a smaller area as compared to that when you are using a blunt knife. So you see that the impact of the force increases when it is being applied on a little area or on a smaller area of the object. So if you are applying a force on a smaller area, then the force will have more impact. But when you are applying the same force on a larger area, then the force will be having little impact. So what is that relation between the force and the impact? That relation is the pressure. What is pressure? Dear students, the force acting on a unit area of any object is called pressure. That means pressure is force upon area on which it acts. So every force has some pressure. And what is that pressure? The pressure is the force divided by the area over which the force is working. So the pressure of the force is decided by the area over which it is working. The unit of the pressure is Pascal, which is equal to 1 Newton per square meter, right? This thing is very clear to us. Now let's move on to the next slide. Yes, here you see, as you can see, dear students, the formula of pressure or the expression of pressure is like force upon area. So here you can see that the area is in denominator. That means if you know that if in a rational number, if denominator increases, right, if denominator, the value of denominator increases, the value, the actual value or the numbers value increases. Means if the denominator increases, then the value, actual value or actual number decreases, right? So suppose that pressure is equal to the force upon area. So if area will increase, the pressure will decrease. If area will decrease, the pressure will increase. That means if the force is being applied on a smaller area, then the pressure of the force will be high. If the force is being applied on a larger area, that means the pressure will be little or smaller, right? So this is why when you pierce the iron nail through the pointed end, it pierces very easily, it gets inserted into the wall very easily. So now you can think, dear students, after looking at these two examples, you can think why the shoulder bags have broad straps, not the thin ones. Because broader straps, by having broader straps, the pressure on our shoulders is lesser as compared to when we have thin straps on the shoulder bags. In the same way, you know that the tools meant for cutting or piercing always have sharp edges, right? Again, this is for the same reason. Now dear students, one more application of this concept, you can see this porter. This porter, whenever he puts the heavy load on it, he puts a cloth between the head and the luggage. Why? Because he is actually increasing the surface area over which the luggage will apply force. Means he is increasing the surface area of contact with the luggage, right? So if there is no cloth, smaller area will be there over which the luggage weight will work as a force, right? But when he puts a cloth, then surface area of the head over which the force is being applied increases, and this is why the pressure decreases, right? So to decrease the pressure of this luggage, he puts the cloth between the head and the luggage. Now, dear students, do liquids also exert pressure? For understanding this, you have to perform this activity. You have to consider this activity. What is written here? You will be taking two pipes or a single pipe, actually a single plastic transparent pipe or single plastic tube, right, which should be having around 25 centimeters of length and around 5 centimeters of diameter. Okay, now you will apply one balloon at the bottom of this, right, a rubber sheet at the bottom of this. You will tie it very tightly so that it does not leak or it does not get removed out of the pipe. Okay, what you will do, you will put some water in the tube in this setup. You will see that the balloon will get certain bulge, means it will bulge out. Please note the level of the water column in this, and please note the size of the bulge. Now do again the same thing. You have to increase water in it so that the level from here reaches the level of water here. So now water level has increased, the height of the water column has increased. You will see that the bulge, the size of the bulge or the amount of the bulge of the balloon will also increase. From this activity we can see that we can say that liquid exerts pressure on the bottom of the container in which it is kept, and this pressure of liquid, the pressure exerted by the liquid is proportional to the height of the column. Means if height of the column is less, then bulge is less, means the pressure of the liquid is less. When the height of the water column over this point is more, then the liquid pressure is more and the bulge is also bigger, right? So we can say that the pressure exerted by a liquid depends upon the height of the water column or liquid column, right? And also we can say that the pressure over any particular point depends upon the depth of that particular point in the liquid. If the point is just below the surface of liquid, then the pressure will be less, but if it is in more depth, it will be more, right? So when we go deeper into the points, when we go deeper into the liquid pressure increases, the liquid pressure increases. So suppose that we have a mug like this, it is filled with water. So obviously here the liquid pressure will be lesser, here will be more, and here will be the maximum liquid pressure. So we can say that the liquids exerts pressure on the bottom of the container, and the pressure is depending, actually the pressure depends on the depth of the point inside the liquid. If depth is more, the pressure is more. If depth is less, the pressure is less. In the same way, the liquid pressure depends upon the height of the water column. If height of the water column over a particular point is more, then the liquid will be exerting more liquid pressure. If height of the water column is short, then the pressure of the liquid will be less. Okay, so what conclusion is written here? You can see pressure exerted by water at the bottom of the container depends on the height of its column. Alright, now you can have a look at another activity which shows that the liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Here you can see in the diagram that we have taken a bottle, we have made a hole in it, inserted a little tube in it, and then attached one balloon or a piece of balloon at the end of the tube. When we will fill the water in it, you will see, right, that it will start bulging the rubber sheet or the balloon. So from this activity you can see that the balloon has been placed towards the wall. So we can say that a liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Alright, so what is written here you can see something is coming, something is in the minds of Bujo. Here you can see, I have seen fountains of water coming out of the leaking joints of or holes in a pipe supplying water. So you see in your homes also, you see that if there is a hole in the pipe, the water comes out of it just like a fountain, right? So from that also you can have an idea that the water or the liquid is applying pressure on the wall of the pipe, all right. So let's have a look at another activity. This is again very interesting. Take a bottle, then make holes in the bottle at the same level. You have to make holes in the bottle, right? Then you have to apply a sellotape. You have to close all the holes with the help of a sellotape. You will make a ring of the holes, and then you will seal the holes with the help of a sellotape. Then you will fill water into the bottle, and then suddenly you will remove the sellotape from these holes, and you will see that the water starts coming out of these holes in such a manner, as you can see. But you will see that the distance up to which the water is going, is equal on all sides, right? But if the pores are at the same level, or at the same height, or at the same depth, so dear students, from this activity you can see that the liquid exerts equal pressure at the same depth. If the depth is equal, right, then the pressure is also equal on all points at a particular depth, right? Okay. So for example, suppose we have a bucket of water here. This is the water, right? So at a particular level, suppose this is a particular depth, so at a particular depth on all points the water will be applying equal pressure everywhere on a particular depth. So dear students, this is all for this video. In the next video we will be discussing about the gases also exert pressure. We will also discuss about atmospheric pressure. Thank you.